Have you ever wondered why so many people who seem perfectly fine in their 70s, don't make it to 85? It's not the kind of thing we bring up over coffee, but the thoughts there, tugging at the back of your mind, especially if you're someone who's doing everything right, eating well, taking your meds, keeping up with doctor visits. But here's the hard truth. It's often not the big stuff that gets us, not the dramatic diagnosis or the one-off accident. It's the quiet things, the small daily habits that wear away at us like water on stone. Things we barely notice until one day we look up and realize we've started fading faster than we should. Today, I want to talk to you about 5 common mistakes that chip away at our chances of making it past 85. And more importantly, what you and I can do to push back, gently but firmly. These aren't tips from a fitness magazine. They're life-tested truths. Some I've lived, others I've watched unfold in people I care about. Either way, they're real. Let's walk through them together. Before we dive in, if you find comfort in honest conversations like this, hit subscribe. We share stories that don't just pass time, they help make sense of it. You don't need me to tell you that moving your body is important. But here's where a lot of folks go wrong. We think movement only counts when it's a workout. And let's be honest, who wants to do squats or burpees at 70? But that's not what keeps you here. What keeps you here is walking to the mailbox, carrying a bag of groceries into the kitchen, standing while folding laundry, reaching for the light bulbs in the cupboard above the fridge. Tiny motions, big impact. The problem starts when we sit more and move less. Not all at once, but slowly. A few minutes more on the couch, a little less time in the yard. Muscles fade, balance slips, and we don't realize what we've lost until we're holding onto a walker or afraid to get in the shower alone. I remember Walter. He was a retired bus driver I used to see at the diner. He told me one morning, "I just feel slower every year." Then he had a small fall. Not serious, but enough to shake him. Instead of joining a gym, he did something simple. He promised himself he'd stand up every 30 minutes and just move. Walk around the house, stretch at the counter, anything. 6 months later, he looked brighter, said he felt 5 years younger. It wasn't magic, it was momentum. You don't need a treadmill to outlive your peers, you just need to keep moving. Because the moment you stop, your body starts writing a new story, and the ending might come sooner than it has to. Here's the next mistake, and I say this with love. We stop going to the doctor unless we're already hurting. I get it. Who wants more poking, prodding, or being told, "At your age, this is normal"? But let me tell you something. Most of the conditions that shorten lives after 70, high blood pressure, diabetes, early cancers, they don't announce themselves with pain. They sneak in, quiet, patient. You feel a little more tired, you brush it off. You notice your pants fit different. Must be the dryer, you forget a name here and there. That's just aging, right? But if you wait until it gets obvious, it's already gotten dangerous. Evelyn, a friend of my sister's, felt fine, just a bit sluggish. Her daughter pushed her to get checked. Turned out, she was pre-diabetic and had no clue. She changed her diet, walked after dinner, and turned it around before it turned on her. That's the power of knowing early. Don't wait for the warning light. Your body's not a car. It doesn't always blink when something's wrong. Make the appointment, do the screening, and if it scares you, go anyway. That's how you stay in charge of your own story. Here's one we rarely talk about: But it might be the biggest one of all: isolation. Not the kind where you live alone. I mean the kind where you stop reaching out, where your days blur together, where you go a whole weekend without hearing your own voice except when you read labels out loud. That kind. After my wife passed, I went months without having a real conversation. Not on purpose. I just didn't want to burden anyone. And then I started noticing. I didn't laugh anymore. I didn't shave as often. I didn't care what I ate. It wasn't sadness. It was emptiness. Then one day, a neighbor invited me to a morning group at the park. Just coffee and chatter. I didn't want to go, but I did, and that cracked something open. We are social creatures, not just for pleasure, but for survival. Loneliness is now linked to the same health risks as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's not poetic, it's scientific. If you've been pulling back, thinking you're too tired, too old, or not wanted, please hear me. You're not a burden, you're a blessing. And your stories, your presence, your smile, they matter to someone, probably more than you know. Here's the sneaky one: that stiffness in your knees, that swelling in your hands, that fog that rolls into your brain around 3 p.m. That's not just getting older, that might be inflammation. Now, inflammation in small doses is good. It heals wounds, fights off invaders. But chronic inflammation, that's a different beast. It simmers under the surface and quietly increases your risk for heart disease, stroke, Alzheimer's, even depression. Nancy, a neighbor of mine, was tired all the time, thought it was just age. But when she cut out processed snacks and started drinking turmeric tea every morning, big difference. She felt lighter, moved easier, laughed more. Food is medicine, or it's poison. Same goes for movement, sleep, and stress. You can't see inflammation, but you can feel its weight. And here's the most powerful thing. Every healthy choice you make whispers to your body, I'm still here. I'm not done yet. And that whisper, that matters. This one might be the quietest and the deadliest, losing your sense of purpose. Not all at once. It happens slowly. You retire, the kids get busy, you stop being asked to help with things, and one day you realize no one needs you today. That's when the days start to feel grey, and time starts slipping. Robert, an old friend, was in that place. Then his grandson asked for help on a school project. Wood carving. Robert used to be a carpenter. One project turned into weekly lessons, then a neighborhood class, then something to wake up for. Purpose isn't always a grand mission. Sometimes it's just being useful again, whether it's growing tomatoes, walking rescue dogs, or mentoring someone younger. Purpose gives your mind a reason to stay sharp, and your body a reason to move. And more than that, it gives your heart a reason to care. If you feel like you've drifted from yours, that's okay. It might just be waiting under the surface. Ask yourself, what brings me joy now? Then follow it, no matter how small the trail. So why don't most people make it to 85? It's not fate. It's not bad luck. It's because they let the little things go, bit by bit. They stop moving. They skip appointments. They pull away. They let inflammation flare and purpose fade. But the truth is, you can choose differently. Not all at once. Just one small thing today, because you're still holding the pen. And this next chapter, it's yours to write. So, what's one thing you'll do today to take your life back? Will you stand up and stretch right now? Will you call someone? Book that appointment. Or maybe just breathe and believe that you're not done yet. Because you're not. You're still here. And that means there's still time and still life. Thanks for being here with me. If this message meant something to you, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment, share a thought, tell me what you're still reaching for. And if you haven't already, subscribe and stay with us. We're walking this road together. See you next time.